Hi guys. So we're on our last example of how to graph in vertex form. You can use your flowchart and use that second space to do this problem. Here is our last example. I'm going to go through the flowchart again in that order to stay consistent. So the first thing we should do is we should find our axis of symmetry. And very similar to the last example we did, right? We're going to take the x minus 1 and we're going to do the opposite. So we're going to say our axis of symmetry is x equals positive 1. Next, we need our vertex. For the vertex, we'll use the positive 1 for our x coordinate, and then we'll use this plus 4 for the y coordinate. So 1, 4. In this problem, there's an invisible positive 1 right in front of that parentheses. That's my letter A. Since it's a positive 1, this parabola will open up and have a minimum. The domain is always all real numbers. And since it is opening up, my range is greater than or equal to this number 4 right here. We're going to skip the intercepts, just like we did on the last problem, because if we can avoid doing calculations, we want to avoid doing calculations. If you want to calculate your intercepts, you can plug in a 0 for the y or a 0 for the x, and then that will help you find your intercepts. But if we can just look at the graph, it's so much easier. So let's skip to graphing. I'm going to start with my axis of symmetry, which again is at x equals 1. Nice vertical dotted line. This time my vertex is at 1, 4. So I'm going to go up here, 1, 4. Since my A is 1, my special ordered pairs will not change in this problem. I could still multiply the y coordinates by 1, but that doesn't really do anything. So my special ordered pairs are 1, 1. So from my vertex, over 1, up 1, and reflect. 2, 4. So from my vertex, over 2, and up 4. Now, I ran out of space, but your graphs should be bigger than mine on my computer. So you should be able to graph 2, 4. But none of us are going to be able to graph 3, 9 because it's going to go too high. So we're going to stop at 2, 4. So basically, you just have to make sure that you get in. It's actually 5 points, and Delta will also ask you for this. Delta wants 5 points. It wants the vertex. It wants your y-intercept and the reflected point from the y-intercept. And then it wants your x-intercepts. So just make sure that you are graphing with at least 5 points for delta math. And then let's go ahead and graph our nice parabola, our nice curve shape. This one is a normal-sized parabola because my A was 1. So this is what we are used to the parabola looking like. Now that we have our graph, we can write our intercepts. And both of our intercepts can be gotten just by looking at the graph. So for my y-intercept is right here. It's the number 5. And my x-intercepts, if I look at my x-axis, my parabola does not cross the x-axis, and it never will. It starts above, and it keeps going up. So I have no x-intercepts for this problem. This concludes all of our graphing examples.